So my name is Paula Almiron. I'm the Partnership and Funding Manager at EIT Food Northwest. It's a pleasure to be here and to have the opportunity to introduce our organization to all the audience. So we're going to start now. Okay. So today we're going to divide our presentation in three stages. The first part is a guide to EIT Food. We are going to make a short presentation of who we are. Then we are going to introduce the partnership model, the new partnership model that we are going to launch in 2023. And then we are going to present some calls and opportunities that are coming up or are ongoing. Okay. Okay, so EIT Food is the largest organization that works for food innovation in the world. We are not only the biggest and the largest in Europe, but also we have an impact globally. Our mission is to create a world where everybody can access and enjoy sustainable, safe, and healthy food with trust and fairness from farm to fork. And our strength is comes from our partners, from our community, which represent over 85 of Europe leading agri-food companies, research institutes, and universities. We are part of EIT, that's the European Institute of Technology and Innovation. And EIT Food is just part of this big family of specific EIT's branches. So for example, you can have EIT Digital, EIT Health, EIT Climate. We're just one part of this whole ecosystem of innovation and technology. We work in three missions, and these three missions cover the whole food system. One is healthier life through food. Then we have net zero food systems. And finally, we have a fully transparent, resilient, and fair food system. Our activities operate in four pillars. We have an education area, an innovation area, entrepreneurship, and public engagement. In the education pillar, we work with courses that go from courses that are targeted to the general public to PhD studies, master's studies, and any expert courses that are in the fields of our missions. We have an innovation area that works on specific calls and general calls. We're going to see that in a minute. And then we have entrepreneurship programs that cover all the stages of the development of a startup. Finally, we have a public engagement area that engages with the general public and also produces content that is highly valuable as food unfolded. So let's go to the next slide. So this is our community, is quite broad. So we have industry partners, we have research centers and universities, and of course we have startups that are the ones that bring technologies and innovation that are going to fit the whole system. Um, Let's go to our vision. So as Christina said, I'm part of EIT Food Northwest. That's the regional office that operates for the UK geographies, but also for Iceland and Ireland. These are some of our partners. As you can see, we have leading industry companies, and we also have universities, research centers, and startups that are being heard in the whole system. So let's go a little bit to our partnership model. So at the moment, we are transitioning to a new partnership model that operates in two categories plus another type of membership that is not actually uh, to a partnership type, but is a membership. I will explain that in a little bit. So we have two partnership categories. One is the strategic partners, and the other one are delivery partners. So strategic partners have an input and influence in the strategy of EIT Food and the whole food system ecosystem in Europe. we also have we also support these strategic partners to develop their strategy in their own organizations. So it's a two-way forward. Um, so these strategic partners are not only focused on working in the community, but they want to have their voice heard in key councils, in key boards. If we go to the delivery partners are the ones that are going to inform and address the strategy that the strategic partners and the the whole EIT food community is developing. And the community members are organizations that are like-minded to us and they want to engage with us, but with a different type of engagement. They want to be in the community, be part of some of the events, and cross-post some of our content, but they are not going to deliver projects or any of the activities or programs that we develop. That's not the main objective that they have when they join our community. Let me explain that a little bit better. So if we have to summarize this, the strategic partners develop the strategy conjointly with EIT Food. The delivery partners inform that strategy through activities, delivering projects. And then we have the community partners that disseminate our content, and we also disseminate the content that is related to our missions. Um, the community partners are open for opportunities, are open to participate in calls and also in different programs, but that's not the main objective. Um, the delivery partners are mainly focused on on the network, but also in the activities and the projects that they have to develop, and they are involved in bids and consortia. And finally, the strategic partners promote the strategy inside EIT Food, but also outside of EIT Food, and also work to create new opportunities, new funding options, new to connect our organization with funding sources so we can amplify the cake of funding sources for our community and for our missions. So let's go a little bit to our goals and opportunities. I'm going to mention three goals and programs that we have at the moment. We have more, but I think that these are the most important ones, or perhaps some of them are more related with the audience today. So that's why I selected these three. So the first one is the 2023 Open Call for Innovation. This is a flagship program that we have, and it is led by the innovation area. So this is a general call that covers the three missions that EIT Food is working on. So the projects start in 2023. These are projects that are going to be funded for a maximum of 24 months, and we need at least three eligible organizations from two eligible countries. And this is a point that perhaps you may have some questions, because when we talk about EIT Food, we talk about organizations that are based in countries that are part of Horizon Europe or are associated to Horizon Europe. However, some countries that are not yet associated or are not associated at all. I mean, we some of them is it not it's not clear at the moment if they will be associated or not. They can participate in the call. However, they are not going to be funded. For example, at the moment and for 2023, the UK government uh, is providing the UK guarantee scheme. So if you participate in a project that is funded by EIT Food, you're not going to receive the funding through EIT Food. But if you're successful with your application, the UK guarantee scheme is going to respond for that amount of funding. So When we talk about eligible countries, you have to consider the ones that are associated to Horizon Europe. For example, if you select two countries and one of them is the UK, you might need to add an additional country. Um, the KPIs that we have to consider are the first one is that it needs to be uh, one or it needs to be near to market. It needs to be commercially viable, um, and it needs to respond to one of EIT Food specific challenges. And at the end of the project, it should have a sales revenue of at least 10,000 K euros. So which are the principles? We need to develop innovative products, processes, and services that address a specific business opportunity. And it needs to have a clear commercialization strategy, a close cooperation with clients, citizens, and users, and it needs to have a financial return and a contribution that responds to this financial sustainability that we were talking before. The co-founded is going the co-founded required is 30%. So if you include a country that is not eligible for funding under the Horizon Europe scheme, that means that that country the funding that that country is going to receive outside of EIT Food is going to be considered co-funding. And of course, we need to implement communication, dissemination, and exploitation plans because we need to engage with our consumers and our citizens. We need to let them know what we're doing with their tax money. Um, so the scope of the call are our 6 focus areas. You can see them here. So it's quite broad. Let's move on to the timeline. So this call has been launched in August, and we are working now for the second window that is going to close in mid-April. Okay, so let's go a little bit to our entrepreneurship programs. So we have 3 levels or 3 stages that are covered in our entrepreneurship programs. The first one is the seedbed incubator, and the seedbed incubator is targeted mainly to teams at universities, research teams that have an idea that can be landed to the market, and they want to further develop that idea. They want to receive some mentoring. They want to see if they have entrepreneurship abilities or if they can develop those skills. So this is the program. Um, we have also the Food Accelerator Network. This is for companies that need to accelerate uh, their proposal. Perhaps they need to further develop their business plan or understand better their consumers or clients or think about a better marketing proposal. And then we have the rising food stars. These are companies that already have revenue, but they need to refine their product, their service to let's say connect better with their consumers or clients. So they receive mentoring. They get connected with key investors in the sector. They participate in events. They are um, showcased in different events online, face to face. So it's very interesting for these companies. And of course, all of them, when they are part of our programs that are, they go through a selection, a competitive selection. They get the badge that are supported by EIT Food, and this is quite important for their development. Let's move on to the next one. So these are some of our partners that are involved in the program. So you see some industry partners, but also there is an investors community that is also there, especially at the Rising Food Stars level. And of course, we have some universities and research centers that supports our programs. So finally, I would like to go to the higher education initiative. And this is a program that is very interesting because the funding is 100%. We are not requiring a co-funding part in this call. So the Higher Education Initiative looks to create a systemic impact by engaging 500 or more higher education institutions, and they would like to promote these higher education institutions to become engines of innovation for the realization of a green, digital, and inclusive society. Um, they would like to do this through the strengthening of the entrepreneurial innovation capacity of higher education institutions, and also to integrate these higher education institutions into innovation ecosystems. So the key elements is that the launch has the call has already been launched on the 8th of November, and is closing at the end of February. Um, the funding period will be for 15 months from May 2023 to July 2024. And the main topic of this call is deep tech. Okay, so if you're interested in any of these programs, if you have heard of any other programs calls, just contact me if you would like to learn more, or if you would like to have a conversation about how to become a partner. Please keep in mind that you can participate in our programs if even in the case that you may or you may not be a partner. We are an open innovation network, so you don't have to be a partner to participate in these calls, but it's very important to be part of the network, to connect with other organizations. So that's a value that you have when you are a partner.